Hi, this is Daniel from the Ultimate Guitar Academy, and I'm going to help you on step A with a basic but very useful chord exercise. Now before we get started, just remember this is not a song, it's just an exercise designed to help you get good at your chords. In this exercise, we're only going to use two chords, E minor, the easy version, and G7. Just to make sure you know those, the easy E minor chord is when we play the last three strings on our guitar. That's the three highest sounding strings. Even though they're the lowest in position, it's the highest sounding three strings. The names of these three strings are G, B, E. You can remember this as Goodbye Eddie. So it's the second half of 88 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. Those three, Goodbye Eddie. If you haven't played E minor before, just give that a quick go. If you need to, pause the video and practice that chord. What you can do is put your pick on the G and then in one motion, move down through those three strings. Just like that. Okay, once you've got the hang of E minor, the next chord we need is G7. If you don't know G7, it's when we hold first fret on the high E string. Okay, so fret number 1 on the high E. That's where my finger is down here. That high E string is 88 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie, the very final Eddie. While we hold this down, we also need to strum the last three strings only. That's the Goodbye Eddie strings, the same strings as E minor. Now you might have noticed the only difference between these two chords is that this finger is on the guitar. That's the only difference, nothing else. Strumming is exactly the same, playing three strings only. So before we get into the exercise, just make sure you're comfortable with both of those chords, E minor and G7. If you need to, hit pause on the video, practice them, and then come back to the video once you've got the hang of both of them. Okay, I'm assuming you're good at both of them. The exercise is simply this: 4 E minors, and then 4 G7s. That's it. 4 E minors, 4 G7s. But we're going to make it slightly more difficult than that. Okay, what you should do now is pause the video and see if you can play 4 E minors followed by 4 G7s, just like this. So go ahead, hit pause, practice those two, and then come back to the video. Okay, I'm assuming you're really good at E minor and G7 now. So what we're going to do is play it together. I'll count us in, I'll count to 4 and then we start. When we play this though, we can't have any gaps between the chords. For example, we can't do this. Where's G7? Here it is, I found it. Okay, ready, let's do this, alright. That was a huge gap. We can't have that. What we have to do is have our 4 strums for E minor and then straight away have our 4 strums for G7. Let me give you a demonstration. Just like that, no gaps between them. So let's try this together. I'll count us in, nice and slow, okay? Keep it really slow. Slow is our best friend when we first start guitar. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. How'd you go? Got the hang of that? Let's try it again slightly faster this time. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All good? Let's try it a bit faster. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, even faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe one more fast run through. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you need to, hit pause on the video and jump back to any of those that you need to practice at any speed and go over it a couple of times. It's worth spending just a couple of minutes working on it so that you can get the hang of it. One last run through before I let you go with this exercise is we're going to play it together at a relatively fast tempo, which is the speed, but we're not going to play it once. We're going to play it 4 times. That's right, 4 run-throughs of the chord progression at a relatively fast speed. I want to add one quick note before we do this, and that is, don't stress too much about the strings, okay? Just roughly guess, roughly aim with your right hand. If you do hit a wrong string, that's okay, it's not a big deal. If you miss one of the strings you're supposed to hit, that's okay, not a big deal. When we play guitar, we actually are not supposed to look at our strumming. We focus our eyes on our left hand, our fretting hand, the one that's holding things down. And my right hand just kind of does its own thing. By simply guessing at the strings, eventually you will learn how to get the right ones without looking. It just takes time. Okay, you ready for this? Here we go. E minor, then G7, 4 strums each. We're going to play the whole thing 4 times. So I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's the exercise. It's very basic, very simple, but definitely worth spending some time on to improve your guitar skills. All the best with this. If you have any troubles, talk to your guitar teacher or get in contact with us through our website. Happy practicing, and until next time, keep shredding.